All right, folks, we're back just in time to start and jump into the grand finals. I do have a question for stream, though, a follow-up, and this is actually something Zombergov and I were discussing during the break. We'll do it after the intros, though, because I want to make sure the sponsors are definitely super associated with this. This is a qualifying match. Let's talk about what's on the line for this. Both these players are now playing in the grand finals of this double elimination tournament. JonSnow has to win 2 best-of-3s to qualify through, whereas opponent only has to win 1. The prize for winning is not only getting to compete in the main event, which does pay out to 8th place, so everybody's guaranteed some prize money, but also a paid flight as well as hotel to come to the event itself. There's a lot for this, and we hope to see either of these players joining us in Toronto June 16th to 18th. This tournament, of course, is being put together by North by Northeast Music and Arts Festival, and they're going to be doing a lot of other cool stuff, but also, more importantly, StarCraft during the day. So in the top right, he is coming from the losers bracket, and he's got the toughest climb ahead of him in the ZvZ. It's JonSnow.
In the bottom left is the red Zerg. It is root PandaBearMe.
And here's the question, and this is an important one. And this obviously is more of a guy question. If the ladies have a way to give answer to this, then I'm all ears as well. But for guys, when you're going to the bathroom and it's just number 1, you walk up to the urinal. You're going to do your business. Do you, 1, and this is where you'll type 1 or 2 in chat, okay? Do you, 1, unbutton the button and pull the zipper down, and it's open like the top of a collared shirt, and that's how you go to the bathroom? Or do you, 2, just unzip the zipper and pull through? I'm really curious what people's answers are for this, because Zombergum says it would be 50-50 or kind of split. I feel like it would be very much one-sided. I'll not state mine until after we see the results, because I don't want to influence the results.
Okay.
So 1 or 2.
That sounds fair.
Also,
sounds fair.
While the silly question has been asked, and then we move on to the game, this is actually not, of course, the first time these two are playing. JonSnow and PandaBearMe, of course, fought in the winners bracket finals. Oh no, they didn't. Excuse me, that's Drunken Boy. This is the first time they're fighting this tournament?
JonSnow and PandaBearMe. Yes, this is the first time in this tournament.
Yes, this one. Okay,
today.
Excuse me. I thought it was him and it was Drunken Boy. So never mind. This is the first time they're actually facing off against each other today. But both are really good Zerg players, and I know JonSnow's got some good ZvZ in him. We've seen PandaBearMe take on other races. We'll see if his ZvZ is good enough to keep up with JonSnow's, or maybe it's better.
The JonSnows, multiple. Yeah, JonSnow did end up, I guess, in total 4-0ing PandaBearMe in the last qualifier, the NA qualifier. So PandaBearMe is probably pretty glad he has 2 best-of-3s to fall back on.
Yeah.
He showed some promise versus Volts earlier in the ZvZ, but it was roughly the same game 3 times with only very slight differences. I feel like JonSnow, being a new player, is obviously going to have some different things to actually change the game up. So far, just lane baneling versus lane baneling, but PandaBearMe sneaks in that 3rd base. JonSnow just going for a lot more lanes initially, and then the 3rd base.
Third sun up.
That's the best answer to anything. No, that's the best answer to whenever you say super important question coming up.
What?
Ace IDK. Get your Ace IDKs ready.
It's like the skeptical look of like, okay, Rifkin, what's the question?
Yeah. Baneling's trying to be canceled here. JonSnow is about to have a couple of them pop.
Ooh, decent hit. Nothing phenomenal, but a good hit nonetheless.
Look how many 1s and 2s.
Wow, this really is like 50-50.
Yes. Okay.
This surprises me. I wish there was a way to also find out like whether the 1s are coming from America or like the 2s are coming from Europe. Like I'm wondering,
I feel like the 2s are playing with fire. I brought that up.
Yeah, that's what I said. The zippers are like literally teeth. And you're okay. So I'm obviously team 1 if that's not obvious. But I'm surprised there was so much 2s. I really thought it would be everybody on 1. Like nobody's gonna be silly enough to do number 2.
That's how you get something about Mary. Oh, this is not going so well. JonSnow has a lot more banelings left, but takes a pretty nasty hit right there.
Yeah, he lost a lot of the lings, so that's momentum gone. But these banelings are ready to hit all the drones that they can. Spreading out now. It's best keep them alive to trade off his opponent's banelings.
this actually reversed pretty quickly. Well, actually, 8 drones still died, so...
Well,
no,
the thing
PandaBearMe's
is...
the one in lead.
Yeah, he's got more drones and a third base down. This was a pretty solid defense, despite how messy this was going to go. But JonSnow's not done yet. PandaBearMe thinks it's done, so he makes 11 more drones behind this. But JonSnow's committing to Lings, and there's like 20 plus on the way.
Ooh, 11 drones is a lot, but he might be able to get away with it. He is meeting JonSnow on his side of the map, you know, getting a good feel for what's happening, because he doesn't have an overload over here. The only thing he has is an overload on the third base, seeing that it's still not taken, which is very good intel, mind you, but you want to know definitely when they're willing to attack into you. So 11 drones have been made, and he's very cautious, but still making a couple more. He doesn't see the Lings running out quite yet. And I don't know, if JonSnow is trying to, you know, catch PandaBearMe being too defensive and making too many Lings, he's not. It's not working out well. PandaBearMe is going to continue having this very big drone lead.
Queen didn't even go down there. This is bad for JonSnow.
Yeah, it is. PandaBearMe will need more Banelings to feel super secure. Oh, he actually catches a lot of Lings on the backside. Never mind. These two Banelings are going to waddle on in here.
It's a bit too much. I think Queen's going to actually go down to the Baneling, but that said, it's still 41 drones, 3 bases. The third hatchery is what really entices me here, because PandaBearMe's had scouting to know that JonSnow didn't take the back base until, well, just now.
Yeah. So PandaBearMe's got to be feeling pretty good about this game. He's already got roaches on the way. And once he gets to, I don't know, like 15 plus, something along those lines, right? A safe amount, he could move across the map and try and end the game. Seems like he's going to do. No supply blocked right now.
I'm really triggered that anyone picked number 2. This is bothering me so much.
Told you.
They're discussing and defending it too. Like, look, I don't care how quality the jeans are. I don't care if you're pulling your dick through velvet instead of a zipper, okay? Like, that's dangerous.
I figure anything you do with your donger is going to be done with, you know, delicacies. No, wrong word. Ah!
Don't even trust women, guys. Their bodies may betray you. How strong? How many kegels have they done? You don't know.
Delicateness.
Oh, I see what you said. I didn't catch that right away. Okay, roaches against Banelings. The funny thing is, the Banelings actually might be enough to do a lot of damage to the roaches because he wasn't split, but now that he splits even slightly, it looks like he's good to go. And PandaBearMe just looking to walk away with the game. But this was a pretty scrappy game, and this could have very easily gone either way, but just very clearly did not go in JonSnow's for this first game.
I feel like we both said some pretty stupid shit on stream, but I've mostly never been embarrassed by it.
Oh, are you embarrassed now?
I think this match is kind of the Catalina. I've never seen that hole used. It's pretty on par with each other now. Oh, GG.
I feel like we learned some important information that you could never in your group of friends get a large enough sample size to know the answer to that question. Because the worst part is, like, the cool kid of the group's gonna say one thing, and everyone will be like, "Oh yeah, no, I do what he does because I'm not weird and different."
You gotta say it on 3. Yeah, I don't know what the woman equivalent is for that one. But
I know a couple, but it's only because I've dated girls who do gross things.
Well, now I'm curious. As a girl,
I'm gonna mute my mic while I bring this one to Zombie. You can just base her reaction off of how bad this question is.
Okay.
So stream will not be able to hear this. I'm gonna cover my mouth too.
Okay. Okay, I don't know about that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. No, that's weird. That's not like a 50-50 split. I still think it's a 50-50 split though. Like, that's not the same. That's not like an answer that actually has, or a question has 2 answers. That's just a what the fuck.
Okay, well there you go, stream. You'll never know.
What the fuck?
Abyssal Reef gonna be the next map coming up. You know why that was muted now. You fully understand. Abyssal Reef for map number 2.
Oh
Wait,
god.
why is JonSnow want to know if the Raven nerf is live?
I don't know.
For the Terran he's fighting against right now, I suppose. Well, Abyssal Reef being the next map could determine the fate of the tournament here. If JonSnow loses, it's all over, and congratulations to PandaBearMe. PandaBearMe loses, we'll go to game 3 and continue on with the qualifiers.
There's a master race now for this.
What?
Oh my god, they're still discussing 1 or 2.
Team Unbutton Master Race! I don't know if that was said in chat, but that's what I'm saying now.
Oh my god.
Alright, game number 2 kicks off, and this could be it for the North by Northeast qualifiers. Ladies and gentlemen in the bottom right, cheer for him if you like Team Roots. It's PandaBearMe.
In the top left is the red Zerg. He is JonSnow.
Another topic I would like to bring up would be whether people have used squatty potties or not, and continue to use them afterwards. I'm not gonna lie, I never want to go back to like normal positioning after having used it for so long. But I guess that's a little bit of a harder one because that's kind of new technology. Not the stance, because I know like in Asia they don't even have like seats to sit on.
Well, yeah, in some parts of Asia, like Busan train station, there's some squats. I don't know if I want to tell this story.
I remember talking about how that and the stairs is why all the women in Asia have such nice bums. Working out all the time, always.
That is true. I'm going to tell this story. It's actually that embarrassing, but it is kind of just like, oh, zombie grub.
Oh, zombie grub. Let's hear it.
So at the train station in Busan, or Daegu actually, I was visiting Olivia and I had to go to the bathroom, but it was kind of packed. So it's super bad. So I go into the first stall that opens, not seeing that it was, you know, like one of those squat situations. So I literally just stand there for like a minute, like choosing, should I try? Because I've never done it before. And what if I fuck up? And just walking out of the stall. Yeah, of the stall before it like seems like I did, because there's like a line of people out there, right? So they saw me like leave for like 30 seconds. They'd be like, what did she even do? So I literally waited in the stall for 2 minutes, and then I left.
You just waited.
Yeah. Yes.
There.
And then I had to leave the bathroom too, so I had to hold it for a while.
That could have been so much worse.
I know. So it wasn't that bad.
Also, chat wants to know if I was asking about whether you girls hover or sit on public toilets. And here's the thing, guys. The public toilets are gross because of the girls who hover, and then they miss and make a fucking mess. Yeah. So the next person comes in and doesn't want to sit, and it perpetuates the circle of violence.
That's not the same question either, because that's more like because women wouldn't do that at home that I know of anyways. Like I know plenty of people that would say like I hover because other people hovered and blah, blah, blah. I clean, by the way. But like, I don't think they do it at home. Whereas for your question, it really was like 50-50 no matter where you are. So. Great talks.
NA broadcasting, am I right?
Yeah. No drinks even needed here. This is quite dangerous. This is not just like, I don't think the Lings are going to cancel, mind you, but they're doing a lot of damage on that. Okay, finally speed kicks in and PandaBearMe shoos it away.
Yeah. They're both committing to considerable amount of Lings behind this too, having cut at similar drone counts and have Baneling nests. So this won't be a game where somebody's like really unprepared versus the other. It's going to be a lot regarding control. My concern is JonSnow, like that was a really kind of scrappy game, and it's hard to say whether he had good versus bad control. But we know that given the right circumstances in the long game, he can play a good ZvZ. So it's about getting past this hump one way or the other.
I mean, JonSnow made a choice. Didn't go for the third base. Tried to surprise JonSnow with an all, and it just, it didn't work. So that was definitely a one part, just all in, not a surprise enough. And then another part,
on the other side.
Worse micro. It's a pretty small one.
Speaking of worse micro, it was actually not micro versus the queen, so that ends up letting JonSnow defend. I want to point out, if he had surrounded that queen from the get-go and not wasted, was it almost 200 damage in the hatchery, he might have even cleaned up these Lings and continued attacking. Trade up for Banelings, but nitpicking.
Yeah. They really are just really scuffles. back and forth here. PandaBearMe takes like a bit of a lead initially in the drone count, but JonSnow is like right on his tail. Has to replace a couple of queens. And then the Roach Warrens are like perfectly timed with each other. I'm pretty close to it. And with this many lings, I don't think anyone's going to lose a third. But some drones could go down.
My 3-year-old would rather just piss on the floor anyways. Sounds like my cat, dude. She won't use the damn litter box. Fuck. That's a lot of bailings, but 2 can trade out for 4, and if you can get that hit, that'd be really, really nice, of course. But a little bit hesitant to come with the lings. JonSnow, not a lot for him to hit here. Takes up 3 drones with him.
Yeah, PandaBearMe could have used 2 banelings for 2 banelings for a second there, but I guess he really did see like not a reason to without not many drones at third base. But in doing so, he missed out on the natural, which lost a lot more drones, and that's why 11 went down. So he finds himself behind, but replaces it pretty quickly. On his way to a lair already, has that going for him, and I think with the Phantom's advantage, he would hold it against any roach push, which JonSnow might have been thinking of, but he was severely supply blocked. Only just not getting over it.
Well, this has been, as you described earlier, and I'll bring up once again, just scuffles. Nobody really taking phenomenal damage. In fact, looking at the overall units lost, like, it is impressive that PandaBearMe lost 13 drones, but still maintains a similar worker count.
Well, as he gets a little bit higher in that count, that is at the cost of a lot of roaches. But, oh man, JonSnow... Oh, okay, not quite supply blocked. Never mind. He had a really severe one, and he was planning on building a lot of roaches, so that delayed this roach attack by a good, like, 15 seconds, I want to say. And that is some important timing. Only just moving out now. PandaBearMe might have eyes on the intent, but he's still building drones. Okay, he doesn't know.
I just remembered how our conversation got to where it did. JonSnow drinks a lot of water, has to go to the bathroom often. This leads to you talking about things being expensive like toilet paper, then me talking about bidets, and then the rest is history.
Yes.
Boom.
That's exactly how it happened.
Dots connected.
I mean, I remembered. It was... Anyways.
I legitimately didn't. Like,
PandaBearMe, those 3 drones that he made, the army not being in position, this might just be game over for him.
It probably it's 8 roaches to 15, and even if you had like 15 in production, they'd all be coming out staggered 1 or 2 at a time. So GG, JonSnow ties up the series 1-1 and takes us to the first finals of this best of 3. But the reminder that I need to really lay in thick here, guys, is that if JonSnow wins, he does have to win another best of 3. PandaBearMe, however, only needs to win this one. So we'll go to commercial break, as this could be the last game coming up, and we'll see you guys shortly. All right, folks, welcome back. We're getting into game number 3. Things have been tied up 1-1 at this point, and this is still the determining factor, the determining match of this best of 3. Deep breaths. I think one of the things that's really worrisome, actually, is that no matter how you look at it, like it's still a tough battle for either player, either trying to close it out or to survive a little bit longer. But you're right, they did change the picture, actually. Holy crap. Guys,
I was gonna say,
you go to the StarCraft Twitter. Okay, I gotta show that this is some conspiracy level stuff. Here's the original picture of like Tasteless and Artosis for their announcer pack, and here's the one that there is now. This is definitely like a million times better picture of Artosis, like without a doubt.
I knew it. Yeah, that freaks me out. Okay, good deal.
All right. Anyways, super duper important. Spotting at the top left, it is the red Zerg player from Root Gaming, PandaBearMe.
In the bottom right is the blue Zerg. He is JonSnow.
Well, JonSnow is certainly in a bit of a tough spot. Winning another best... I mean, right now, I don't think he's still thinking about it. A lot of players don't actually think about further than the game that's at hand. We know this from years of talking with them. So I don't think right now he's concerned about trying to get to the next best of 3. He's concerned about trying to get past this game here to get to that best of 3 even. Closing this out's not going to be easy. PandaBearMe has certainly proven to be a formidable opponent, to say the least. But I do love that neither of them have been like reliant upon cheese. There's been no ridiculousness, and it's actually been some pretty similar builds in each of the games so far.
The very first game, JonSnow did forego a third hatchery. That should have made his attack look a lot stronger, but it just didn't, because I think he was also hoping PandaBearMe was going to hold off on the Baneling Nest, which he didn't. PandaBearMe has been going for very safe Baneling Nest timings every time we've seen him so far in ZvZ. And I do expect that to be the case here. Look at that, a Baneling Nest, whoa.
Sorry, my mind got blown by how crazy that was.
It was crazy.
Actually, what is a little crazy is JonSnow not starting up his yet, but instead going for a faster third. I mean, we're going to see PandaBearMe also take a third here, especially as he scouts and confirms, but if he's not going to go, okay. I was going to say, if he's not going to go for a Baneling Nest, we might see something like we saw earlier with the attempt to go straight to roaches, but I feel like you really can't skip that leg of the dance. And if you can, you're a really good player, more power to you, but most of the time, if your opponent has Banelings, you're going to want some Banelings.
Yeah. Well, PandaBearMe saw an opportunity to chip away at that hatchery. Lost a Ling on the way, but it's 2-3 now. Yeah, JonSnow going for the Baneling Nest as well. We're going to see a couple of scuffles around that third base. Just like a regular ZvZ. You really haven't seen lengthy Roach versus Roach games so far today. People have gotten to Roaches, but usually by the time they get to Roaches, it's already decided if they've won or not. But I mean, layers? We saw like one layer finish. Like 7 ZvZs. And they even got speed. That was the longest ZvZ we've seen. Very high action, very explosive Baneling battles.
Okay, well, this hatchery, as the Banelings trade out for other Lings and Banelings, as long as they're doing close to the hatchery, they will splash it down, which would be nice for damage, but it looks like JonSnow's putting an end to this attack. However, a couple of Banelings snuck in here and killed about 3 drones. Nothing too devastating, but still losses nonetheless.
PandaBearMe still committing to the attack. A lot more Lings on the way, and JonSnow is trying to even up those losses. He's also trying to get to Roaches, so this is a very delicate dance. PandaBearMe goes for a lair pretty quickly, then cancels it. Dog guy the mind games. Okay, I don't know what that was about. It's a pretty brutal mistake.
Baneling snuck in over here, did some payback. 3 drones die for PandaBearMe.
Yeah, a little bit.
But we're looking over here because this is where it's really important. These Lings sneak by and they get past the Banelings. They run into one at the top of the ramp, but still most get through. Queen should go down, and so will a couple drones. Woo! Yes, Paloy doesn't get the Queen. Oh, this is a problem.
Yeah.
If he committed this much, he has to at least get the Queen.
The third base is now under attack, however, and that could be even worse. That's actually so much worse. Third base is going to go down here. JonSnow pulled way too much to deal with this. Finds the Lings over here.
Looks like the Queen did die.
Oh, God. Yeah, just a single Ling got the chip chopping block.
Oh, no.
That's going to finish.
Pop! Pop goes the weasel.
Well, it might still be worth pulling his drones for a second, but he's not going to. He's just going to take the hit. Oh. PandaBearMe looking for a better hit on Lings.
Yeah, I think that's a great choice, to be honest. Well, PandaBearMe's a little bit later to the Roach game, but if he can cause some serious economic damage here, it might not be such a big deal, because Roaches are too expensive. JonSnow can't exactly spam 14 of them.
Yeah, PandaBearMe, he's got like maybe a moment where JonSnow's Roach army is too big and he counterattacks, but PandaBearMe should be fine by then.
Oh, he's trying to bust up that ramp. It's so dangerous with all these Banelings here, but he does manage to take them out, so now he can waddle his way on in. Ling's also in the mineral line already, but doesn't look like there's going to be enough to finish this off.
Oh, God. Yeah, that 2 for 4 was really brutal. Luckily, that Baneling hit before too many drones died. They're super weak. They would have gone down instantly. And he manages to save most of his drones, even count. But PandaBearMe is on his way to more drones and Roaches as well, with the third base.
Things are looking all right for JonSnow for the time being, but that third base sniper earlier, as you said, might have been a little bit too much. It's not even about the larva. You know, he doesn't have the money where larva is a problem for him right now, but it is just a matter of, like, that could be mining a little bit. That could be spread out. That could also be just extra creep, but nothing. absolutely nothing. No bare minimums. And PandaBearMe, I think as long as he is on the defending side of this, despite being a little bit later to the roach game, he'll definitely be the one who has more roaches.
Right. This could very well get to a point just PandaBearMe waltzing in with superior roach count, as we've seen in a lot of the other games. If the game gets to a lair, it's usually still with one person waiting the lead.
I mean, there's a chance JonSnow can still make something happen here in terms of, like, he's going for the lair, he's going for upgrades. If Burrow and Tunneling Claws can, like, distract and pull apart PandaBearMe, right? Like, we've seen Zerg players actually do a lot with a little. It's still grim nonetheless, and he's in quite the tough spot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what girl they're referencing.
I don't see any.
I know that I'm casting with a lady.
Oh, smooth.
Yeah.
Hey. Although, really, what does lady even mean nowadays?
What lady?
What lady?
Lady? Like,
Oh
M
my
apostrophe.
I thought I said the Morton lady, and I was like, Morton salt? Like, what?
What?
Isn't like a brand of salt that's like Morton or something?
I don't actually know any brands of salt, to be honest with you. It's just salt to me. Like,
Well, you know the kitten lady T-shirt. The girl holding the umbrella is the Morton Salt girl.
see, this is actually interesting because when we were at BlizzCon, I know George from Corsair was talking about trying to get them Overwatch players to dump out salt, and it was like some sort of brand of salt. I'm like, haha, yeah, branded salt. Totally know what you're talking about.
Well, maybe they don't have it, and
Is it
maybe
the Gerber baby? I don't know.
maybe it's just a weird thing that I noticed. I really, I don't know.
Is kosher a brand? No, that's the type of salt, right?
Right, kosher salt.
Yeah, then I don't know any brands of salt.
Okay, well, I mean, it's not. I think it's weirder to know the brand of salt, I guess. But that's a brand that's like pretty. It's like the Gerber baby, and then there's the suntan lotion, or the sunscreen that has like the baby having that's like pants pulled down by the dog.
Yeah, the SPF girl or whatever.
SPF is the. That's not the brand. It's like SPF 40. Do you not know any brands?
McDonald's is a fast food chain. So is Subway. You're really mean.
It doesn't
Wow.
matter at all. I know. It doesn't matter at fucking all that you would say like SPF 40 and think you're talking about a brand. Yet that is still funny to me.
So we go back and remind everybody I gave Zombie a compliment a few moments ago. I'd like to retract that from the record. This was an attempt at spine collars that would have held probably with what he had, especially with the mutas chipping on them. But now PandaBearMe's coming in. Like I said, JonSnow, he's going to try and do something with that layer attack. It unfortunately was not going to cut it, though. I mean, mutas, had they come out sooner, had these roaches attacked later, like, there's a fine line of if those spine crawlers were down, period, this wouldn't be so bad. Look how many of these roaches are seriously almost dead. But he's pulling drones left and right, trying to minimize losses. His army is gone at this point. He's relying on mutas, and mutas aren't going to save him, much less win the game afterwards. Holy crap, 30 out of 16 on that base.
At least he's got him. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think the mutas come a little bit sooner and meet them halfway. This could be recoverable, especially if the mutas got any, good amount of damage done on the counter. But this is, it's too much damage.
Yeah.
He might stick in it because he has mutas. I couldn't blame him for it. But he took too much damage.
I mean, the drones being 21 dead isn't even the worst part about this. It's the fact that he hasn't been mining gas through this whole duration. So he could come out of this with 60 workers, but he's still on 18 gas. So there's no follow-up with anything. He can't build... He can build links, that's it. And that's what he's doing because it's all he can afford. And that's going to really sting. I also now realize, too... he doesn't, even if he had money, there's no queens, there's no injects, larva would eventually be an issue as well. There's just so many things not going well for JonSnow, and it's unfortunate because he looked really promising, but GG! PandaBearMe will be the wild card player qualified to Toronto. I feel like I need to stay out of chat for the next few minutes because they're making fun of the salt thing. They haven't even heard the fucking sunscreen thing yet. I mean, first off, look at this pale skin. Do you guys think I know what sunscreen is? Let's be real for a moment. Okay.
Sorry.
I gotta get PandaBearMe's information so we can forward him to the organizers so they can get him his appropriate pricing through tickets, etc. But congratulations to him. Again, I don't know if he's still part of WCS or not, but again, to explain, if PandaBearMe has to drop out for any reason, even if it's not WCS, if he has to drop out for any reason, JonSnow will be his immediate replacement. And if JonSnow has to drop out, Future would be his immediate replacement. And hopefully we don't have to go through that many people. But thank you guys for watching. One last commercial break before we say our goodbyes, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes. I was 100% not mute. Hang on. This is bullshit. I'm watching the stream. No sound's coming out. Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I shouldn't be muted. The microphone icon was not muted, and when we went to the end screen thing, I had to click it to mute it. So I don't know why it was muted.
No idea.
Well, like I was saying, big thank you to our channel sponsors for making things possible. Click the links down below to find all that stuff. We've met our goal of 50 shirts sold. I know the widget doesn't say it because it doesn't combine both EU and NA sales, but we sold 52 t-shirts. I hope you guys will check out if you haven't bought one, because I still want to sell as many as we can in the next 4 days. It's a really good shirt. It's the most commemorative thing we've done ever since we made the Partoof. Our channel sponsors, Corsair, as well as Twitch, support us in the many endeavors of things we want to do, so scroll down and click on their links if you want to buy stuff through them. Of course, through Twitch, just sub to us, and that makes both Twitch and us very happy. And I can't remember what else I said that I screwed up on. Follow the channel. Fuck, we'll host somebody. And good night. Ace muted. Goodbye.
Bye.